In the first of these 6 mini projects built into Project 6.3, we're going to create a nested function with index and match to display inventory for a product. Before we begin, I wanted to show you a little real-world version of what this would be used for, so that you can understand the goal of this before we start this mechanistic exercise of just following these steps. So here is this application of nested index and match used for the purpose of simplifying the display of the inventory, which could be a very large table here. Okay. So once again, in real life, you would want this small table to be used without looking at the larger table. So as usual, I ask you to examine your data first. Okay, we're going into the name window. I'm going to check inventory right here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 columns in this named range with a large number of rows. We don't really care how many. What we care about right now is the count of columns. We also have another named range called survey. It's on a different sheet. That'll be in a different mini project. Okay. So what we want to do is to automate the search. Let's say you're a salesperson talking to a customer, and you really want to look at product names, colors, and sizes. This number is not what people really keep in mind, but for browsing purposes, this is a good column, product ID, because it holds all the differences between the similarly named products. So for example, this product ID will necessarily show the size and the color and the cost for a product which is also listed under the same name for different sizes and well, same costs for different sizes. So index and match are really used for these drop-down lists, which unfortunately are not mentioned in the project write-up. We don't see that. Okay. So I showed this to you in class. We talked about it, and I hope you remember how to create a list like this. We go to data and then to data validation. Then you have to select list. I just used this, that's why it's here. Then you'll have to select this arrow and grab whatever number of columns you want from here. Okay. Moreover, not only is this combination of index and match is used with the drop-down list, they end up being used with VLOOKUPs. And you can see we could continue with VLOOKUPs down to this box, to this cell. We just use the combination of index and match because the task calls for it. So feel free to explore these formulas. I'll click slowly on them, and maybe you will create something that suits your own needs for that. Okay. So what we're going to end up doing is we'll create something like this. That's what the project calls for. Although even for this cell, I created a drop-down list, which is still better than what they ask us to do, and they will ask us to manually change these product IDs by copying and pasting the values from here. Okay, so I hope this is enough to understand the goal of using index and match for this step. And now we're going straight to project instructions.